The Israelis spy on the United States. They've always spied on the United States.
Do we spy on them also?
No. And that's written in stone at the CIA. We do not spy on Israel. But they openly spy on us. They're all over the country stealing defense secrets.
Do we spy on other countries?
Yeah, we spy on almost every.
Why can't we spy on them?
It's a political decision that's been made. Yeah, a political decision in the White House, on Capitol Hill.
Sometimes it just feels like our country is just kind of owned by Israel and they just don't say that. Do you think that that's true or do you think that's fictional?
Well, I don't think it's so clear cut. I think the truth is that the Israelis have inordinate political influence in the United States, especially in our elections.
Yeah. Well, they just had that election with Thomas Massey that
exactly. That's the best example.
That got overtaken. What happened with that election? Let's bring it up. I mean, I know that Thomas lost, but it was the largest.
Yeah, $35 million was spent.
The American Israel Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC, and other pro-Israel interest groups have uncorked over $9 million in a bid to unseat Republican Representative Thomas Massey on Tuesday, which they did in a competitive primary that has shattered spending records. Prominent pro-Israel GOP donors have funneled millions more into a super PAC stood up by President Donald Trump's political operation that has spent nearly $7 million on the race. Overall ad spending has topped $32 million, making it the most expensive House primary on record per tracking firm Ad Impact. Wow.
For a job that pays $180,000 a year.
So what are the long-term benefits of them getting this position, or was it just about getting Massey out?
It was getting Massey. The thing about AIPAC is if you are not 100% pro-Israel, they will primary you. They'll primary you with somebody who is 100% pro-Israel. And sometimes, you know, the perfect is the enemy of the good. Where
what does that mean?
Where you've got, for example, there was an incumbent Democrat in New Jersey who voted pro-Israel 90% of the time. They ran a primary opponent against him, who was 100% pro-Israel, and he lost. But so did she. And the one that won was the one that's pro-Palestinian.
Ah, I see. So sometimes by aiming for one, you might let another through.
You end up hurting your own cause.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can understand people's angst with this sort of thing. I mean, the biggest thing is just like if Israel is involved in a genocide, right? They're genociding people. Right. It's almost like, why would you let Nazi Germany invest in your people who are going to be running congressmen or senators in your country? It's crazy. I don't see how there's not a law. Like, why isn't there a law if a country's doing like a Holocaust or like a genocide that they're not allowed to invest in, that they're not allowed to have a lobby in our elections?
See,
was there ever a law about that?
No. And they would lose their shit over the use of the word genocide. You used it. I use it. It's a genocide.
We've been using it on here for years.
Oh, yeah, it meets all the international legal requirements of a genocide.
Yeah, well, I think the UN has voted that it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if the vote passed because I think there was maybe some groups that wouldn't agree to it.
Well, it didn't pass the Security Council, but it passed by 90-something% in the General Assembly.
Yeah, but I don't understand why that seems fair. And also, I'm amazed that I don't understand why people that made like movies and wrote books about the Holocaust, why they don't speak up and say, hey,
yeah,
this is the same thing that I wrote about. You know what I'm saying? You can show picture to picture that makes it exactly
killing is wrong. Yeah. It's wrong no matter who's doing the killing or who's being killed. It's just wrong.
But I don't see why some of those people don't speak up. You know?
Well, there is an increasingly large number of Jewish Americans who are speaking out. There's a big group called Jewish Voices for Peace. The Orthodox Jewish community in New York has been very vocal. Just this week, there was a
protest going on, wasn't there?
Annual Israel Day parade, and a lot of the Orthodox Jews from Brooklyn showed up with Palestinian and Iranian flags, and it caused violence. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just don't understand why. What is America afraid of? Like what have you seen like in the CIA? Because it does. You hear a lot that that the Israeli influence like has taken over our CIA and our FBI. Do you think that that's true or not?
Well, I can't speak to the FBI, and my CIA information is dated. I left the CIA more than 20 years ago, but when I was there, we kept the Israelis at arm's length, like seriously so. The very first liaison intelligence briefing I ever gave was to the Israelis. I had been only on the job 6 weeks, and my boss said, listen, you're going to give a liaison briefing. It's going to be a whole big group of people. So you're going to be the last one to talk because you're the most junior, but you need to know some of the ground rules. He said, we do not meet with the Israelis in the building. We used to, but every time they'd come, they'd bring us gifts. And the gifts are always packed with listening devices and batteries.
Is that true?
Yes, 100% true.
Would you guys find him? How do you even know that that's true?
Because you have to x-ray everything that comes into the building. You can't just wantonly walk in off the street with, boxes of gifts and say, here, this is for you.
And what'd they do, to sew a couple Palestinian ears from the rubble?
And they're like, oh, we're just joking.
Oh, it's like joking stuff.
Yeah, it's not joking.
Right. So that happened during your time. Was that with other countries too? So I'm sure there's other countries that like...
Oh, there are other countries we don't even have liaison with.
Got it.
But with the Israelis, we had to rent a place, and we would meet with them in the place. On my very first day at the CIA, you meet in the auditorium called the Bubble, and the head of HR comes out, and the director comes and says, welcome to the CIA, and then the head of security. It's just a parade of important people come to welcome you. So the head of security said a couple things. One was funny. He said, the gravest threat facing America today is the threat of Soviet communism. And I said to the guy next to me, does this guy not read the papers? There is no Soviet Union anymore. Anyway, he went on to say that the Israelis have 2 declared intelligence officers in the United States, one Mossad and one Shin Bet, so CIA and FBI equivalents. They're at the Israeli embassy in Washington. But the FBI has identified 187 additional undeclared Israeli intelligence officers spread out all over America, stealing secrets from defense contractors. So the lesson was, don't ever talk about work outside the building. Don't ever eat at the restaurants in McLean, Virginia, because they're all Russian KGB, and back then it was the KGB, and Israeli Mossad agents eating there to hear what the CIA people are saying after work.